You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down.
Look at the stars. The great kings of the past look down on us from those stars. So whenever you feel alone, just remember that those kings will always be there to guide you.
I don't think it is very useful to speculate on what God might or might not be able to do. Rather, we should examine what He actually does with the universe we live in.
We are all explorers, driven to know what's over the horizon. The most profound discoveries are not necessarily beyond that next star. They're within us, woven into the threads that bind us.
Hello, beautiful people. Happy Monday. Happy Moon Day. Welcome to a new week and happy birthday to quite a few notable Geminis, including Nicole Kidman. Lionel Richie is a Gemini. John Goodman is a Gemini. Let's see. Anyone else? Josh Lucas. If you've ever seen the movie Sweet Home Alabama, you would recognize him. No rappers today. That's been the trend. Lots of Gemini rappers, but none today. And happy birthday to you. If you are a Gemini, today is the final day of Gemini season. We almost made it through. Heather's here. Hi, Heather. The meeting went so good on Friday. Today's a holiday. They have 5 business days to make a decision. Ooh, but good vibes. I'm so happy, Heather. I'm so happy. Hi, Diane. Hello, Rose. So many wonderful people in the comments. So today, as you can see, we're going to walk through the week ahead very briefly at the end of this. But first, let's talk about the energy of today. The sun is in Gemini. The moon spends the day in Pisces. So the sun and moon are both in mutable signs. Mutable signs are very adaptable. They can kind of shape shift depending on their environment. So the mutable signs are Gemini, Pisces, Virgo, and Sagittarius. This means something we'll talk about today is the sun and moon forming a square to each other. This happens when the moon and sun or any planets are in the same modality. They square off to each other. So at some point today, that could bring a little bit of tension, but we have some lovely transits to get through first, starting with the main transit of today, which is Mercury forming a sextile to Jupiter. So let's show you what that looks like on our chart. This actually happened overnight exactly. And, you know, Mercury moves so quickly that we really do feel its effects around the time when the exact aspect happens. We'll still feel this throughout the day today, though. So 12:43 a.m. is when this aspect was exact. Mercury over here in Gemini, 6 degrees in Gemini, forming a nice 60-degree angle to Jupiter in Aries. So we have Mercury in an air sign, Jupiter in a fire sign. Anytime we have this air-fire connection, it's going to be a sextile, and it's going to feel like Jupiter in this fire sign and Mercury in this air sign. It's sort of like fanning the flames. They're supporting each other in a nice way. Now, let's talk about what Mercury and Jupiter represent really briefly, because I think this will help you understand how the two energies are working together today. Of course, Mercury is the planet of communication, and it rules how we think, our mental state, how we talk to other people, how we process information. Meanwhile, Jupiter is the planet of abundance and excess, so it really amplifies anything it connects with and touches. This could bring in some big ideas today, especially with Jupiter and Aries. It's like, let's start something new, you know, so this could definitely bring through some big ideas. Although Mercury normally rules kind of the small daily tasks, especially with it being in its home sign of Gemini, we're really focused on the details. And today, Jupiter's influence helps us sort of zoom out and look at the big picture. We're more interested in broader plans rather than the day-to-day details we normally focus on. This Monday could feel like, okay, not necessarily long-term planning, but thinking a little bit bigger in terms of the plans we're making. How are these plans going to impact us on a broader scale? We'll also likely feel a little bit more hopeful about the plans we're making because Jupiter brings a level of optimism to anything it touches. We love Jupiter, right? The great benefic. It's just a positive influence regardless of what we're talking about. Sometimes it's a little overboard, but today that shouldn't be the case. Now, Jupiter also rules long-term travel. Mercury rules short-term travel. So this could be a day where you really have travel on your mind. The summer solstice is tomorrow. A lot of kids are out of school now. Maybe you're actually starting a trip or coming back from a trip today, or you're seeing a lot of other people start traveling and you're like, okay, maybe it's time to book a trip so we know we're going somewhere this summer. So definitely thinking about travel. We're also more intellectually curious. Mercury and Jupiter, they really do have a lot in common. It's just like Mercury is on a small scale and Jupiter is on a big scale. So Mercury is about learning basic information, tidbits of information. I always say Mercury rules the news. It's like that daily information we're getting in small chunks. Whereas Jupiter rules higher learning. You can think of it like college or higher education. So big concepts, philosophy, even religion, which makes us more curious when these two planets are talking to each other and supporting each other in this way. And, you know, it might be that you're taking in information and then you're able to kind of apply it again on a broader scale, a broader level, figure out what does this mean for me in a broader sense. In general, how we will feel under this energy. Jupiter makes us more generous. Mercury makes us more chatty in Gemini. So, you know, we might just feel more outgoing, like we want to strike up conversations. We want to share information with other people. We're easily able to make small talk or make big talk too. Just expect to feel more confident. This is a great day that favors negotiating as well. Jupiter brings an element of good luck and good fortune, whereas Mercury is all about that conversation we're having. So really, this is a positive transit in so many ways. Just staying open to new information, being willing to have conversation. You might be surprised by where those conversations could lead you and what you might learn in the process. Hello, Rachel. Thank you for being here. All right, now let's talk about what's going on with the moon today. The moon spends the day in Pisces. It will enter Aries at the very end of the day, but we're really going to be feeling that Pisces moon for most of the day. So just a refresher for those of us who aren't super attuned to a Pisces moon. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. So when we have the moon in Pisces, it really favors rest. And you might have felt that yesterday on Sunday, just really wanting to rest and relax in your body, telling you like, we need a break. That might have come up for you. When the moon is in Pisces in general, we are a little bit more dreamy, maybe even a little bit more sleepy. It's a time for healing, closure, endings. And with us coming into the final quarter moon or the last quarter moon, the moon is in its peak phase of release. So really setting the stage today to let things go, let things rest, or heal in some way. Now, we're coming into our first connection with the moon today, which is a conjunction to Neptune. So the moon and Neptune will meet up in Pisces. You can see it on our chart over here. Now, if we were sleeping during this time, I would say vivid dreams for sure. And you might have even had vivid dreams. I think the Pisces moon in general kind of makes us a little bit more attuned to our subconscious. So you might have had some, I know I had wild dreams last night. I had some crazy ones. You might have also. Because this conjunction is happening in literally smack dab in the middle of the day or even the early afternoon for some people in other parts of the world, I could see this showing up as daydreaming, like your mind just kind of drifting and wandering, or feeling like the need for an afternoon nap, feeling a little bit sleepy. If you aren't feeling it really in your body, this need to slow down, this transit could bring through some really inspirational ideas, especially with everything we just talked about with Mercury and Jupiter connecting. When the moon forms a conjunction to Neptune, creativity is going to be very potent. It's going to make us way more dreamy and imaginative, and also more compassionate and empathetic. So if we are having these conversations about religion or philosophy or these seemingly big conversations with other people today, we will easily be able to see their point of view, feel how they're feeling. This definitely creates a more gentle energy. The one warning label I will give when the moon and Neptune meet up in Pisces is that we are easily deceived and confused as well. Neptune is the planet of illusions. It's why they say Neptune rules the media. And I don't think of it as the media as in the news, but more like movies and TV series, these things that are literal illusions that we all kind of buy into, and very imaginative storylines, kind of more fictional media, even books in a lot of ways. But when the moon forms a conjunction to Neptune, it does enhance our imagination, but it can also make us more gullible or easily deceived. It could be like you have these flashes of insight or psychic downloads because your imagination is so open with the moon and Pisces meeting up with Neptune, but it will be hard to distinguish what's fantasy and what's reality. So taking this afternoon for creativity, allowing your mind to just wander and go there, but maybe not making any concrete plans or deals, at least right around midday. Like I said, it's a great day for negotiations, especially earlier in the day, but it might just be that I would say like it's a good brainstorm session or starting the conversation about how these negotiations could go down, these ideas we have, but not really committing to anything today. All right, at 4 p.m., well, really 4 and 5 p.m., we have the next connections, and they're kind of happening at the same time. So let me show you what this looks like on our chart. The moon is going to form a sextile to Venus, then a sextile to Pluto. So this evening, the moon will be stuck right between Pluto and Venus over here, forming a 60-degree angle to both. Now, the first connection we'll start to feel is that nice support between the Pisces moon and Venus. This makes us loving. It's just easier to lean into that sensuality, that affection, and it's easy to show others how much we care about them. We're especially sentimental and sensitive when the moon is in Pisces. So it could just feel like this tender ability to show people how much we care. We're more charming. We can easily sense other people's needs with the moon in Pisces, and this is really a great energy for like a date night or some intimate time, maybe with your partner or a close friend, just connecting with loved ones in general. So that's what happens when the moon forms a sextile to Venus. But with Pluto coming in on the other end in Capricorn, and remember, Pluto is retrograde now, Pluto brings a level of intensity to this. So it could just be those feelings of love are really intense, but also, you know, our relationships are our biggest mirrors. And so while we're in these loving moments and we're more open and sensitive, something deep could come through with the moon forming a sextile to Pluto. Like our deepest sensitivities could be provoked. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just nice to know so it doesn't surprise you or overwhelm you. It's like with all of this happening at the same time, we are aware of this opportunity for a rebirth in relationships, whether those relationships are romantic, our friendships, or even business partnerships. And we've been understanding a lot of the changes happening in relationships with all the Venus activation over the weekend. Venus squaring off to Saturn, forming a sextile to Neptune over the weekend. The focus has really been on our closest relationships. So tonight, as the moon forms a sextile to Pluto, it's really making us aware of that transformation and really attuning us to what's evolving, what's falling away, what's dying, what needs to be released under this Pisces moon in order for us to have fresh energy to walk into and allow those relationships to, the space to evolve and become even better than they already are. Our intuition will feel especially strong tonight because Pluto rules our subconscious beliefs, like what's below the surface, while Pisces energy, the moon in Pisces, is very ethereal and it can open us up to our sensitivities. But again, it's easy to get lost in dreamland and kind of, you know, blur the line between fantasy and reality. So there's a lot of intuitive subconscious energy when the Pisces moon connects with Pluto in this way. And you know, whatever you're feeling tonight, if you're feeling a strong feeling, pay attention to that and ask, like, what is this showing me? Is this something I really want to hold on to still and that's showing me what's really important to me? Or is this something that I need to release under this last quarter moon? And the last connection that the Pisces moon will make today is that square to the sun, as we talked about, and that's around 7 p.m. So let's just jump ahead so you can kind of see what's going on. When the moon hits 29 degrees, it squares off to the sun. Now, let's talk about the 29th degree for a moment. The 29th degree in astrology is called the anaretic degree, and it's known as a critical degree. Anytime a planet is at 29 degrees, there's an energy of restlessness, like we just want to get to the next sign already. You know, after the 29th degree, we start at 0 again in the next sign. So it's really like when the moon and sun square off to each other, form this tense 90-degree angle at the 29th degree, around 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern time, you could start to feel a little bit of anxiety or unease. It's like our rational mind and our awareness, the sun, is clashing with our emotions. So we're feeling really sensitive, as we just talked about, really loving, but it's almost like the Gemini sun is like, okay, but we have all these things to do when we're busy, and our mind is really busy, making it hard for our body to just rest and relax and accept all the love we're feeling. So if you are sensing a little anxiousness or feeling even just restless tonight, or not kind of fitting in or flowing with the energy like you want to, just know that the 29th degree is a difficult degree, and it will pass. It will pass. But the last few moments of the moon in Pisces could feel like especially touchy or restless or sensitive. And then the moon moves into Aries, and that happens at about 8:30 tonight. So when the moon moves into Aries, it brings in this fresh energy. We're still under the last quarter moon, so it's definitely still an energy of release, but our focus now is on what we want to start, what we want to do. And that can really show us, what do we need to release? What do we need to let go of so we can, again, create space for that new energy that's coming in under the Aries moon. We're also under the Aries moon. You know, we've had all these big ideas coming through today. By the end of the day, you could just feel like, okay, I want to start it. I want to do it. And kind of step into like a leadership role and lead other people along the way. You might even just feel kind of more like a leader over the next couple of days with the moon in Aries. It can just feel like a spark lighting underneath us when the moon moves into Aries, like we're ready to go, you know, kind of coming out of that restless energy we just talked about. It's like, okay, we're ready to do something. But this happens at 8:30 at night when most of us are winding down. So just kind of look to it as a preview of the energy coming over the next couple days. We're going to have more energy to do the things we want to do and start tackling these goals, these big ideas that we've come up with today with Mercury forming a sextile to Jupiter. All right, what's everybody saying? That's why I'm worried about being deceived. But that's okay, Heather. You know, I wouldn't focus so much on the possibility of being deceived. Just try to stay grounded through uncertainty and visualize the highest possible outcome. Again, you are the co-creator of your reality. So being a little extra, you know, cautious and double checking things, making sure that people's motives feel aligned with your motives. But I have a feeling once you get the decision, the moon will be out of Pisces, and that won't necessarily be a concern anymore. I had dreams of dinosaurs running amok on a playground. Always a very vivid dreamer. I even have astral traveled during dreams before. That's interesting, Diane, because I had dreams that I was like constantly being chased by something or people, like they were trying to like not attack me, but like take me somewhere, and I was like constantly running away from them. It was really weird. Rebirth in relationships. I've been feeling transformation happening in my closest relationships for some time, hoping the rebirth phase is coming soon and ready for it. Yes, welcome it. And Venus will be moving into Gemini this week also. So when we're talking about relationships, we will be walking into a fresh energy in our relationships. And that could be an opportunity for rebirth or for new information to come in, or for us to just kind of get a little bit more busy in relating. Gemini energy is definitely busy. 29th degree trolls me. Yeah, that 29th degree, we're going to be feeling that. So much anxiety tonight. But know that it's coming. Know that you don't have to buy into it, right? Like you can just be like, no, thank you. Moon and sun at 29 degrees. I get it. We understand. There's a little bit of tension here, but we don't necessarily have to succumb to it. You know, we can just observe like, oh yeah, I'm feeling that. And then it'll pass pretty quickly. Yes, so important to ground yourself often in times like this, especially with the Pisces moon. Like I said, it's really easy to daydream, get lost, float off into a fantasy under the Pisces moon. And that is what makes us a little bit more sensitive and open and susceptible. So finding grounding moments throughout the day can help us move through any tension, anxiety. For the most part, the transits are really supportive today. It just might be towards the end of the day that you're kind of starting to feel like, okay. What's happening next, you know? Fun and interesting weekend, stepping outside my comfort zone, trying new things, letting my partner plan things for a change. Weird Sunday, but I made it through. Sunday was weird. There wasn't a lot going on Sunday. Just if you didn't rest, your body might have been asking you for rest. But I love that you changed things up in your relationship, especially with Venus and Neptune connecting over the weekend, just kind of going with the flow, allowing for some creative shifts to happen in relationships, definitely favored. I struggle with anxiety. So like Bree said, I've been learning to ground myself more. Beautiful. You're right on track. And yes, ready for a fun week. Summer officially begins tomorrow. Cancer season officially begins tomorrow. So we'll have a really fun show to talk through the energy ahead this season. And this is a great segue into just kind of walking through the major transits of the week ahead. So I'm just going to go through really quickly and talk about what's coming. So tomorrow is the summer solstice. The sun moves into Cancer actually overnight at about 2 a.m. Tomorrow, Venus is also forming a trine to Pluto. So I believe it was Diane talking about transformation and relationships. This could be a really beautiful opportunity for that transformation to just flow through. Pluto is the planet of death and rebirth, and this trine between Venus and Pluto allows that to happen really easily. And that happens overnight at 1:23 a.m. Pacific time, 1:23 a.m. And so you might be feeling that today as well. Definitely something to keep in mind as we've been talking about relationships quite a bit lately. There's been a lot going on with Venus. The sun moves into Cancer. We'll talk about summer solstice, how people have celebrated it, what it's meant throughout history. That'll be tomorrow. The moon stays in Aries all day tomorrow. It will form a conjunction with Jupiter first thing tomorrow morning. So we'll be very like go mode, ready, optimistic. The energy will feel heightened. I think that's a good way to say it tomorrow morning. The moon will also square off to Lilith tomorrow, which could make us a little spicy, but overall, good vibes to start summer. On Wednesday, Venus enters Gemini, so we'll be talking about Venus even more, and it could feel like we're looking for variety in relationships, we're looking to spice things up, and also just open to new information in relationships. The pace could pick up depending on where you're at. So that could be definitely a fun energy. We have a ton of conjunctions with the moon this week too. On Wednesday, the moon will meet up with Chiron and Mars, so we'll talk all about that. Then on Thursday, we'll talk about an interesting transit that never actually becomes exact, but Lilith is squaring off to Jupiter. So we're really feeling this energy all week, and we'll dive a little deeper into that on Wednesday, or Thursday, excuse me. On Jupiter Day, we'll be talking about Jupiter, but this could really heighten the energy of like needing autonomy, needing sovereignty in our bodies. Again, we'll dive deeper into that. The moon moves into Taurus on Thursday, and then the rest of the week, we're just talking about moon conjunctions, even more moon conjunctions. So on Friday, the moon meets up with Uranus and the North Node. This could bring a shift or a change emotionally. On Saturday, the moon forms a conjunction to Venus. This is the energy of love for sure. And also get some support from Neptune too. So, you know, the moon meeting up with Venus. By the end of the day on Saturday, we'll be feeling the love for sure. And then on Sunday, the Gemini moon meets up with Mercury. So we could have a very busy or chatty Sunday ahead of us. Lots of fun transits coming up this week. Nothing that's like majorly popping out like, whoa, watch out for this or anything like that. A lot of support coming to us, and a lot of fresh energy we're welcoming in with a new astrological season, summer being here, Venus entering Gemini, really feeling like relationships are changing, the energy is changing. Lots of fun stuff ahead. Good news. Yes, we love good news. All right, and let's end before our tarot pull with today's affirmation. Really just leaning into that dream energy today. Under the Pisces moon, forming a conjunction to Neptune, our affirmation of the day is, I am a dreamer. Allowing yourself to dream today. It doesn't have to be like you're committing to these dreams, just allowing your imagination to go there, seeing what comes up for you. That could be a really powerful practice, giving yourself the space to dream. On Instagram, Dance Daily Baby says, Sunday was so weird. My body couldn't get out of bed for a long moment midday, I noticed. That would be the the Pisces moon. Our bodies really wanted rest yesterday. I noticed that for myself. I normally prep for the week ahead on Sundays, and that did not happen. My body just wanted to chill. So if you felt that too, join the club right along with the rest of us. Oh, good. You need that support right now. We got you, Rachel. We got you. All right, let's do our tarot pull. I'm going to pull from the Spirit Animal Oracle deck today, see what wants to come through. Maybe some inspiration for that dreamy energy, those big ideas we're talking about. As always, this is a great time to, ask your questions. And ask your questions of the universe, too. If there's anything that you're uncertain about, anything you're needing guidance on, this is a great time to ask. Someone on Instagram also asked for a Cancer update. Well, you just wait until tomorrow, because tomorrow is your season, my friend. And Cancer season means that you will have your solar return at some point. Your birthday is coming up. I would say probably look to your rising sign. If you don't know it, you can find your birth chart on my website, thespiritualjournalist.com/birth chart. But if you're a Cancer, your time is almost here, my friends. Your time is coming. It is a beautiful deck. One of my best friends has the same deck, and I was like, I think I need it too. All right, so I'll take a deep breath together, breathe in, and let it go. What do we need to know? Seahorse Spirit, card number 53. It says, watch and wait. Already feeling aligned to the energy of just letting ourselves dream today, but maybe not acting on those dreams just yet. Here's what the guidebook says. Hovering gracefully, the seahorse observes with the perspective of one who is not engulfed by the drama, remaining at a distance from all the turbulence. Seahorse Spirit appears at this time to remind you of the need to be neutral and gain perspective. Your message from Seahorse Spirit is, not my circus, not my monkeys. Spirit wants you to know that even if you're tempted to jump into the fray and try to fix things, the best way to serve yourself and others right now is to remain calm and simply watch and see. Another message here is that whatever your question is, Seahorse Spirit asks you to step back from it. Be willing to explore things from different angles rather than a single one, and just observe what is possible. From the perspective of the position of the neutral observer, you will discover a myriad of opportunities and a deeper understanding of what you seek and why, and you will know beauty, truth, love, and wisdom. How beautiful. I love this not only because we're talking about the dreamy energy of the Pisces moon and just like allowing ourselves to imagine and lean into the fantasy, but also with Mercury and Jupiter connecting today, it really is reminding us of all the possibilities, allowing us to see different perspectives and see higher perspectives, open our mind, staying curious. So today's a beautiful day for just like brainstorming or brain dumping or, just kind of like letting your mind take you wherever it wants to take you without putting so much pressure to figure anything out. And that is what Seahorse Spirit is here to remind us today. My partner is a Cancer Sun, Pisces rising, Aquarius moon. Oh my gosh, so much water in his chart. And then the Aquarius moon, very interesting. I'm curious what he's like as a person. But yes, his birthday's coming up. Cancer season is almost here. I have so many cancers in my life, you guys. One of my best friends and my grandma both have birthdays on the summer solstice. I know a ton of solstice babies. My dad is a Cancer. Cancers, I mean, can we just take a moment for the Cancers? Don't we just love them? We'll celebrate them even more tomorrow when we jump into Cancer season. All right, everybody. That's going to do it for this episode of Transits Today. I want to thank you all again for being flexible with me. There's still a construction zone going on outside of my office. We had some workers in here today, so started the stream a little bit later, but tomorrow we will be back at our normal time early in the morning to ring in Cancer season together and talk about the energy ahead, all the major transits coming up this Cancer season. So if you're trying to plan out the next month, or, you know, maybe you got a big idea for a trip to take or something like that, tomorrow's episode will be a fun one for you to just kind of get a feel for the energy coming our way. Diane says, very good advice for seeing different perspectives and not acting on things right away. Oh, good. Helped you answer your question. Good, good, good. Thank you for being here, Diane. Thank you, Heather. Appreciate you, beautiful ladies, showing up, chatting with me in the morning. I love waking up with you every day. If you're new here and if you haven't already, please go ahead and like and subscribe to our channel. We are less than 250 subscribers away from starting to monetize this so we can keep these videos coming to you for free and make it worth our while too. So if you haven't already subscribed, please go ahead and do so. Make my day. And yeah, we'll be back tomorrow morning to talk all about Cancer season. Love you, Court. And I hope you have a beautiful Monday. Until I see you next, stay curious. Thank you so much for joining us and aligning with the energy of the universe today. If you enjoyed this morning's episode of Transits Today, you can join our live astrology discussion every weekday morning right here wherever you're watching. And head to thespiritualjournalist.com to read your daily astrology forecast and browse the Spiritual Shop. The most fun way to help keep these forecasts free and support more content like this is to buy yourself a little something on our website. But if you're feeling extra generous, you can also buy me a coffee to fuel future live streams. Just tap the link in the description or head to buymeacoffee.com and search The Spiritual Journalist. And speaking of, you can also tune in to The Spiritual Journalist, our weekly live interview where we ask our guests questions about everything from crystals and manifestation to mental health and the environment. Those conversations stream live right here wherever you're watching now every Tuesday. I'm so grateful you found us here, and I can't wait for our next conversation.